Ever heard stories about smugglers who tried to sneak freakish, expensive stuff but failed miserably? Well, brace yourselves, because today we're about to share stories of some of the silliest and unbelievable smugglers. We'll count down the top 10 funny smuggler fails, and of course, award them the title of the worst smugglers of all time. From the smartest to the downright dumbest, we'll hear about the most clever ways people have smuggled things to other countries. If you are playing detective, you're obviously welcome in the comments. Let's see who got caught, and for a touch of drama, we'll even witness a woman throw tantrums when faced with the consequences. Let's share laughs at the bizarre choices these smugglers made. Fishy Fashion. How would you prefer flying on a plane? In comfy clothes like sweatpants, hoodies, and sneakers, or with a bunch of fishes taped under your clothes? Meet Lacey Smith, who was smuggling fishes on her flight from Singapore to Melbourne. She wore an apron filled with 15 bags of water, and each bag had live fish. 50 of them. Believe it or not, these fishes were worth around $48,000. You can tell something absolutely fishy was going on here. But Lacey's fishy fashion didn't go unnoticed. She became the case of suspicion because of the constant flapping sound coming from her dress. Her fishy travel reached its conclusion as she was sentenced to 11 years in prison with an $85,000 fine. Zoinks, she must have seen that coming. I mean, who on earth would carry live fish in their pants and expect to go unnoticed? Smart smuggling era. Getting alcohol nowadays in the US is super easy, right? Not for the underage, of course, but you can buy it from stores, wine shops, pubs, bars, you name it. But guess what? Back in the early 1920s, the government was a real buzzkill. They banned literally everything, making importing, transporting, and selling alcohol impossible. Can you believe it? Thank goodness I didn't live back then. Imagine trying to get some cheers to the easy booze access we have today. But no matter how many rules you build, you can never keep people down. They want what they want. Smart folks at the time had crafty ways to get their drink on. Getting a few bottles? Not a problem. They would smuggle the bottles in custom-made outfits. But for moving huge amounts of alcohol, they had to use this. A lumber truck turned into a secret liquor mobile to avoid suspicion. Even the smart smugglers got caught when 2 federal agents who cracked this custom of smuggling in huge quantities. Still, the government couldn't stop them from partying. In 1925, New York itself had lots of hidden places where people could drink. There were anywhere from 50,000 to 80,000 secret spots. People will do what they want, and you can always stop them. The Snake Man. Time to talk about wildlife, which is the 4th most valuable illegal business globally. Every year, criminals make a staggering $20 billion from it. Some animals are strictly not allowed to be owned privately, so bad guys often sell them for very high prices. Now, let me share a wild story about a person from Norway. This Norwegian guy thought he could make a lot of money by selling animals, so he hid 14 baby snakes under his shirt. Yes, you heard that right. Snakes were tied behind his shirt. Pretty sneaky, huh? But that's not all. When the customs officials asked him to lower his pants, they found 10 cans taped to his legs with albino gecko lizards inside. Even though the man was stubborn and smart, karma for awful people like him always makes its way. He got caught and had to pay an enormous amount in fines for breaking the rules, and rightfully deserved it. The Eggs Saviour. Want to hear more clever people smuggling things to other countries? Well, you must listen to this one. There's a guy named Jeffrey Lendrum, and his worry wasn't just getting caught, it was getting eggs all over the place. In 2018, they caught him at Heathrow Airport in London with 19 special bird eggs strapped to his body. Can you believe it? Using some kind of tricky device, he hid 17 rare hawk eggs, a vulture egg, and an eagle egg against his chest. He also had 2 chicks in an incubator that had hatched before he landed. And guess what? This wasn't the first time Jeffrey got caught. In 2010, he was stopped in Dubai with 14 peregrine falcon eggs strapped to his stomach. and he was put in jail for 30 months. You'd think he'd figure out a smarter way after all that, right? He could have made a fortune by selling those in the black market, but no, he didn't do it for the money. He claims he's trying to protect the birds because people are destroying their homes. But here's the problem. When these eggs hatch, the chicks have to be taken care of by humans. And once that happens, it's impossible to send them back to the wild. So Jeffrey is actually causing more harm than good. What a silly guy. Lousy luggage mummy. Quick question, have you ever been nervous when flying without your mother? I know I am, and guess what? It happens every time. In 2008, the fine folks at Miami Airport caught someone trying to pull off the ultimate magic trick of smuggling a 3,000-year-old mummy. This ain't your average fake statue. This was a real ancient mummy and worth a handsome fortune. What's even crazier is those folks had no legal papers, no documents for this mummy. You'd think bringing a relic from Egypt to Miami would require more paperwork than a car license and application, but nope, not a thing. Digging deeper, investigators came to know that this coffin had been sneaked out of Egypt in the early 70s when this mummy was living the high life in a coffin made for Prince Emesi. After hiding out underground for ages and making a pit stop as the star of a Madrid exhibition in 2007, someone thought they could casually stroll into the US with this ancient artifact. But as always, things got a little out of hand, which is a good thing because it's a stolen ancient mummy. After the smart smugglers got sentenced to jail, the precious 3,000-year-old mummy was sent back to Egypt in 2010, where it rightfully belongs. At last, mummy finally goes to its motherland. No longer child's play. On our list of top 10 funny smuggler fails, the unusual suspects is a special mention. This is where crime actually meets comedy. Ready to become a detective? You need to help us catch some sneaky crooks first. So here's a problem. People are bringing illegal stuff into our country. Not good, right? And now it's your job to help us figure out who's behind it. Okay, here are the suspects. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tell us who you think looks guilty in the comments. Ready? Go! And the answer is suspect number 5. If you picked that one, awesome job! Turns out in 2007, Mr. Potato Head got caught smuggling 10.5 ounces of illegal drug tablets worth almost 40 grand to Australia. The customs found the tablets in his back passage, which is some sort of storage compartment. Well, not so fast, Mr. Potato Head. You are under arrest for smuggling drugs on an international flight. Now let's move on to round 2. New suspects. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Who's the troublemaker this time? Write your guess below. And the answer is suspect number 4. In 2012, someone tried smuggling guns in Mickey Mouse at Green Airport. Oh boy, Mickey, that's not what we meant by a hidden surprise. Great job in this case, guys. You did great. I now pronounce you viewers and detectives. If you like what you've seen, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It's a team effort. And guess what? By doing that, you're in for some more awesome content. So let's keep the good vibes going. Go ahead, give those buttons some love, and let's jump back into the video for more fun. Weird tiger lover. Planning on getting a tiger through security at the airport? That's not a good idea at all. Hear these stories of the all-time worst smugglers who tried smuggling a tiger. In 2022 in Thailand, police caught smugglers trying to sell a baby tiger from a parking lot. These guys brought their tiger cub from Laos and even advertised it on Facebook for almost $12,000. But the weird thing is, owning tigers in Thailand has been illegal since 1992. In another crazy story, a woman named Piawan Palasarn tried to fly to Iran with a real baby tiger hidden in her suitcase among her stuffed tiger toys. She was fined $1,300 and faced 4 years in prison. Just imagine, a baby tiger popping out of someone's luggage behind you at the check-in counter. What a wild traveling start that would be. Smoker's Guide. Do you know how much it costs to buy a pack of cigarettes in the UK? Well, in the UK, where high taxes make them super expensive, costing around $16 a pack, which is a lot of money just for a pack of cigarettes. Illegal cigarette smuggling cost European countries over $10 billion a year in lost taxes. Back in 2015, these Russian guys were caught hiding 500,000 cigarettes inside a tree trunk. In Belarus, they're way cheaper, like $1.50 a pack. so they were trying to smuggle it to the UK. These Russian smugglers might have gotten away with it if they hadn't forgotten one thing. A tree trunk should be heavier than a bunch of cigarette packs. When the authorities checked, the tree was suspiciously light, so it looks like the smugglers would get sentenced to prison. Now I get it. That's why cigarettes are not good for your health. Thuggin in style. Ever seen the movie Due Date, where Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis got high on weed and ended up on the Mexico border? Well, real life can be just as wild, except these people weren't stoned and it wasn't a mistake at all. When an 18-year-old woman tries driving across the Calexico West port of entry in a black Mitsubishi, but a border patrol dog senses something fishy under the back seats. Lift them up and, surprise, a 48-year-old man is hiding there. That was not a clever move. Want to know how the real clever smugglers roll in a car? They become the seat. You got it, thuggin' in style. Back in 2001, a guy named Enrique, the smartest thug that ever lived, stitched himself into the car seat while trying to cross California's border. But unfortunately, Enrique's thug life plan ended midway as the cops caught him stitched under the seat. Even though it's a serious matter, seeing Enrique there really made everyone laugh. Let's be honest, there's no way that genius plan would ever work. The Genius Jail Smuggler. Number 1. Let me tell you a story of one of the most stupid thieves, Ibrahim Jose Vargas Garcia, who tried his luck in smuggling something totally crazy and unbelievable. And was he good at it? You are about to know. So, Ibrahim was arrested for car robbery and was sentenced to prison for just a couple of years. Well, here's the deal. After serving almost a decade in a Venezuelan prison, he thought, I'm not good for prison. There's no good food in jail and I really want waffle fries. He decided he had had enough of the cell life. So he hatched this genius plan to break free. Meet Ibrahim's smart and intelligent girlfriend who kept on paying him a visit and tried helping him to execute his master plan. But unfortunately, things didn't go down as smoothly as this extremely intelligent couple planned. One day, his girlfriend strolls into the prison with a candy-colored pink suitcase. Now, the guards weren't exactly Sherlock Holmes, but even they raised an eyebrow at her dragging that thing along, and when she left, struggling with it like she's in a wrestling match with a suitcase, they had to investigate. So they stopped her, and when they unzipped that suitcase open, it was filled with a fully folded, breathing species. Take a guess at what it was. It's the genius smuggler Ibrahim, chilling inside like a surprise birthday gift. Talk about the ultimate escape plan fail. Don't pack your troubles, they say. But Ibrahim took it to a whole new level. He packed himself. The guards weren't impressed. They sent him back to his cell for good. And his girlfriend, she got her own detention ticket. But the best part is these lovebirds never have to endure separation again. Maybe the judge would get impressed by their glorious effort and grant them a cell where they can spend their life together in jail. Now that's a love story for the ages, behind bars and all. Drop a comment and share with me which story from the top 10 you enjoyed the most. I'd love to hear your favorite. In our quest of smugglers, we've uncovered the not-so-bright side of the smuggling world. We hope you had a good laugh at the crazy things of those who attempted all-out crime with their downright silly tactics. Remember, the consequences of such activities could potentially destroy a country, making it essential to appreciate the risks and challenges faced in the thrilling smuggling routes. Stay tuned for more stories that blend humor with a touch of reality, bringing you insights into the wild and unpredictable world of brisk smugglers. Until next time, keep smiling and stay curious.